Ready for the 50th American Presidential Inaugural. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, the 50th American Presidential Inaugural Gala. With guest appearances by Pearl Bailey, Mikhail Baryshnikov, the Beach Boys, Ray Charles, Mac Davis, Michael Davis, Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin Brothers, Crystal Gale, Merv Griffin, Charlton Heston, Emmanuel Lewis, Rich Little, Dean Martin, Patricia Neal, the New York City Breakers, Tony Randall, Lou Rawls, Don Rickles, Tom Selleck, Frank Sinatra, James Stewart, Jill St. John, Donna Summer, Mr. T, Elizabeth Taylor, Frederica von Stade, and Robert Wagner. Participating advertisers are the Dow Chemical Company, American Express Travel-Related Services Company, Incorporated, General Motors Corporation, First Jersey Securities, Incorporated, and Anheuser-Busch, Incorporated. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States and Mrs. Reagan.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mac Davis.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I'd thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to Shannon Sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her till today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, all across the plains of Texas, to sea to Shannon Sea, from Detroit down to Houston, from New York to LA. There's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her till the day, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love land. God bless the USA. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave this right to me. And I'll gladly stand next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. Let's hear it for these kids. College All-America Marching Band. Give them a hand, would you?
Strength, pride, tradition.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, Mrs. Reagan, Vice President, Mrs. Bush, and honored guests, visiting dignitaries, fellow citizens, and fun seekers from either party. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 1985 Presidential Inauguration Gala, better known as Thriller Number 2. And to celebrate this joyous occasion, we've gathered a galaxy of great entertainers, very talented people from all the branches of the industry. Their objective tonight is to make certain that everybody has a wonderful time, regardless of race, creed, party affiliation, and seat sections. To get things rolling, I'd like to introduce a gentleman who, if he decides to melt down all his gold chains, he could wipe out the national deficit. Please welcome Mr. T.
Thank you, Mr. S. It's a thrill for me to be back here in the nation's capital. Last time I was here, I played Santa Claus at the White House. Where else but in America can a black man from the ghetto play a white man from the North Pole and live to tell about it? Now I'd like to introduce another performer who is used to playing many parts, including the President of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rich Little.
Well, there he goes again. Before I start speaking tonight, I would like to say something. You know, a lot of people ask me, how I stay so fit, look so good for my age. Is it horseback riding? Is it dancing around the press? Or is it chopping wood and clearing brush? Well, it's none of those things. Every afternoon before I start work, right after my nap, I do what's known as the Ronnie Reagan rag. I'd like to do it for you now. Where are my backup singers? Would the Reaganomics please come up here? The Ronnie Reagan rag, day and night.
Lead to the left.
No.
Lead to the right.
Yes.
Let's hope his popularity is lasting.
I got my cabinet from Central Casting.
Ronnie Reagan rag, to and fro.
See me on the Late Late Show.
You know you're proud of him and try not to brag.
Do the Ronnie Reagan rag. Well, you know, a lot of people ask me if our Soviet relations are any better. Well, how should I know? I don't have any relations in the Soviet Union.
We're counting on him to deflate inflation.
I never got an Oscar nomination,
We finally have a leader who can act.
though many critics would dispute that fact,
Public life, you know, can be a strain.
especially when they think your name's John Wayne.
He has the presidency in the bag. Do the Ronnie Reagan rag.
Do you know that Lorne Greene is responsible for me winning the election? Because he convinced everyone that in doggy years, I'm only 10.
Give him the simple life of nothing fancy. To ordinary people, Ron and Nancy.
You know, I was asked the other day if I was going to sell jets to Israel this year. Well, the answer is no. What would they do with a bunch of football players? Listen, if they want to win that war over there, I think they should send them the Washington Redskins.
Hip hip hooray and Marilyn Monroe flag. Do the Ronnie Reagan rag. Nixon loved China.
You know, I knew Mao. As a matter of fact, I was the very first person to squeeze the chairman. Well, not anymore. Not since Betty nailed my shoes to the floor.
Carter was smart, went back to peanuts.
I'd like to tell you about my accomplishments as president. Have you got a second?
It was time for somebody new. Let's see what Ronnie can do.
The Ronnie Reagan rag, day and night.
Lean to the left,
No.
lean to the right.
Yes.
Give him the simple life, no nothing fancy. To ordinary people, Ron and Nancy.
Ronnie Reagan rag, to and fro.
See him on the Late Late Show.
I to be the president of SAG.
Those movie reruns have become a drag.
I'd like to tip O'Neill, he's become a nag. To the Ronnie Reagan, to the Ronnie Reagan, rag. To the Ronnie Reagan, rag. To the Ronnie Reagan, to the Ronnie Reagan, rag. To the Ronnie Reagan, rag.
Mr. President, Mrs. Reagan, honored guests, I am so proud to have been asked to be a part of this evening. This is a great event, and this has kind of been a year of big events for me. I didn't think I could possibly top my involvement with the United States Olympic volleyball team this past summer, but this comes real close. Thank you. And the nice thing about this event is we already know who the winner is. I wish you 4 more years of success and achievement, Mr. President. And I really want to thank you for taking me away from the warm sunshine of Hawaii to be here this evening. And speaking of sunshine, I now have the pleasure of introducing a group closely associated with that commodity, an American institution, the Beach Boys.
President Ronald Reagan and his lovely California girl, Nancy, have been an inspiration to all of us. And it's nothing to do with politics, nothing to do with boundaries or borders either. This inspiration has to do with the obvious love and affection, the deep devotion they share. Their love is eternal, and their hearts will always be full of spring.
Gentle boy and the girl who wore his ring through the wintry snow. The world they knew was one, for their hearts were full of spring. As the days grew old and the nights passed into
Thank you very much.
A glimpse of the American presidency from General Motors. The inaugural ball, an American tradition. A time for dressing up, for greeting friends, for putting one's best foot forward. A time-honored way to share with the first family their triumph, their joy, and their hopes for the future of this nation.
Nobody sweats the details like GM.
When you travel the world to see all the great sights, now and then problems can come up along the way. Problems with travel plans, reservations, money, even language. And when the great sights take you far from home, and a problem does come up, this could be the greatest sight you'll see. American Express. Don't leave home without us.
My cousin, Tessie, makes such a great antipasto. She rolls the salami up so tight, you can use it for a toothpick. Another trick she taught me, use Ziploc storage bags. You keep your marinated mushrooms in one bag, salami in another. Not only does Ziploc protect the flavor of these little morsels, but your peppers won't smell like your onions.
Ziploc. We've got the lock on food protection.
Oh, gee. I hope it's enough.
Washington, D.C. is like a second home to me. I've been going to college here for a long time now. I've been studying French, philosophy, and comparative religion. You know, I think the dean must be a Republican, though. Because every time I ask him, Mr. President, when am I going to graduate? He says, 4 more years, Pearl. 4 more years. Well, I hope your 4 more years turn out to be as happy and rewarding as the last 4. Mr. and Mrs. The country really needs you. And now, I'd like to present a wonderful performer who also fits right in here. He's a juggler. Please welcome Mr. Michael Davis.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Michael Davis. Thank you. You know, when I was first asked to come here, I was a little bit afraid. I kind of felt like a CPA when he first heard about the simplified tax plan. See, I do a juggling act, and I had to wonder, why would a president want a juggler at his inauguration? Then I began to think about the similarities of the job. He has to juggle his cabinet members while trying to balance the budget. I have to think about controlling my arms. He has to worry about arms control. But let's not talk politics. I'm not a politician. I make an honest living doing little tricks. Now, there are 2 ways to do these tricks. With applause, and the way that we're doing them. No, I don't need your pity. You see, there's the choices that a man has to make, whether he performs simply for the applause or because things need to be done. One more time, since you liked it that much. I think that was a mandate from people. Okay, but this is the last time. Actually, that would require a constitutional amendment for the third term. Now, it's okay. When balancing, the shorter the object is, the more difficult it becomes to balance, the less there is to work with. I think you can see how much shorter this ball is than this hat. I'd like you to imagine I could toss the ball in the air, catch it on my nose, and balance it. While you're imagining that, if I could do this, you would remember me. I think you remember me now. It's a trick. It's a gimmick. It's done with airplane glue. It's very dangerous. Oh, she was going to make me quit doing that. That was a gimmick, but juggling is an art. And the art of the juggler is to be innovative, to try new things, strange and unusual. That was unusual. If one were to swallow this ball, it would hurt. Twice. Let me explain the rest of the trick. What I've learned to do is to spit this ball high into the air and catch it with my mouth. Now you may wonder, why would a man learn to spit a ball high into the air to catch it with his mouth? I don't know. But why would anyone want to watch? I will attempt something even more unusual. Kind of windy in here. Well, That was unusual, but what could be more unusual than spitting tiny balls high in the air and catching them with your mouth? No way. A bowling ball, which I will attempt to combine with an egg, the natural enemy of a bowling ball. The third object, an apple. A bowling ball, an apple, and an egg. The trick being, while juggling, to take bites out of the apple and not the bowling ball. I'd like someone to examine the apple, sir. You, sir, would you catch the apple for me, please? Look at it quickly. I'd like you to throw it back to me. I'll tell you when. Maybe you'd like to examine the bowling ball. Where is it? Here? Am I getting warm? Shall we try it again? Did I mention, sir, that I'm going to eat the apple? I could throw it away and get a new one, but that would be a waste of food. And the people juggling in India. You must throw it at the right time because your throw is the first throw of the juggle. I have the second throw. Go ahead and make my day. I'd like you to loft the apple, sir. Watch the apple. Oh, what a gag. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, since your election victory represented a virtual sweep of the entire nation, we felt the entertainment tonight should reflect that as well.
Representing the South, the West, and any place else where they appreciate beauty and talent is the beautiful and talented Crystal Gale.
He is beautiful to me, and in my wildest dream did I ever dream he would come to me. Now I was lost, but I have found true heaven through his love and comfort, knowing he is beautiful to me. He is the key to the door of joy never ending. He's the light, he's the way, and without him I say I can't go for he is so beautiful to me. He gives me so much love without thinking of what it gets from me. He's the road with no end. He's life everlasting. He's the friend, he's a king, and to him I will bring all I have. And I will love him till I die. And even when I know this love will grow and grow, he's so beautiful to me. He's beautiful to me. So beautiful to me.
At AT&T, we know you never think about our torture tests.
Oh, it's just the phone.
Or about our extraordinary quality control.
I hear you fine, Mom. Australia's only halfway around the world.
Or even about how reliably we design things.
Still works. Who ever heard of a computer that works without air conditioning?
You can take everything we do for granted because we leave nothing to chance.
It's not a total loss. The phone still works.
Whether it's telephones, long-distance, information systems, or computers, AT&T.
Some investors have learned it's hard to make money these days just following the herd. They've seen that old-fashioned techniques don't always seem to work anymore. And that listening to yesterday's ideas isn't enough in today's financial markets. More and more, the ambitious investor is following the firm with rock-solid resources that's leading the way to the future. Prudential Bache Securities. Follow a leader.
Millions of people visit the great American home of Betsy Ross. That means millions of fingers and lots of fingerprints. But keeping it looking beautiful is easy with Easy Living from Sears. A paint so beautiful and durable, it's become America's best seller. Sears Easy Living. For great American homes like yours.
There's more for your life.
Sorry, Mom.
At Sears.
Some make greatness look simple, like superstar Larry Bird and the Canon T70. Covering Bird with the simplicity of touch button controls, countering his quickness with automatic film advance. Capturing any shot with the versatility of 3 program modes, the Canon T70. And it's so simple.
Watch the bird.
The Canon T70, it makes the great shots simple.
R.J. Wagner mentioned before that we have representatives from all parts of the country tonight. Representing the hills of Beverly and the stills of Kentucky, my buddy, Mr. Dean Martin. Hurt yourself.
You introduced me. It's such a long walk. When did you wait till I got here today?
You did the exercise. That's the reason I did that.
Yeah.
It's good to see you again, buddy. Welcome to the convention
It's
center.
easy for you to say. Good to see me again.
Welcome to the convention center on this wonderful evening.
Oh, this is the convention. What time does the convention start?
No, there is no convention. That was months ago. It's over now.
So, did I win?
You didn't even run, let alone win.
How come I'm so tired? Who did win?
Mr. Reagan and Mr. Bush. That means 4 more years of partying.
Frank, I can't party for 4 more years. But I'll give it my best shot.
You partied for the last 4 years. I'm sure you will.
Yeah, that's why I'm so tired. Yeah, no, I know. Hey, what are all these people doing in my room?
You must have lost your key somewhere. I don't know.
Lose a key.
They came to celebrate a great victory.
How could they celebrate a great victory? The Super Bowl ain't until Sunday.
I'm not talking about Super Bowl. I'm talking about the election that we won.
Oh. Who won?
We came here to congratulate the first family.
Adam and Eve are here tonight?
Adam and Eve are in Minnesota. Ronnie and Nancy are here.
Oh, yo. I know that.
Yo, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yo.
Oh, hey, Ronnie, we did 2 pictures together, and they're still at the drugstore.
You must. I know you remember the president. By the way, you know, he's the most important man in the world today.
Oh, come on. Stop being so modest.
Not this time. No, not this time. The president has the power to do just about anything he wants to do.
Anything?
Anything.
Can he turn water into wine?
No, he can't do that. No.
Then what good is he?
You got a little tune you're going to lay on us now for these very good people?
I'm going to lay what?
A song, a tune.
Oh, you mean get it down?
Get it down, boy.
Oh, yeah, sure. Play anything you want, anybody's music, I'll try it.
Shoot.
Shoot. See, we used to talk like this before. Looked at each other in the same way then. Can't remember well when. The clothes you're wearing, clothes you wore. Smile, you were smiling, you were smiling then. Can't remember well when. Some things that happen for the first time seem to be happening again. So it seems we've met before, laughed before, loved before. Who knows? Well, some things that happen for the first time seem to be happening again. So it seems we've met before, yeah, laughed before, loved before. Who knows?
Hi, thank you. Hi. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Really, great. Thank you. I guess I'm here to present the old Hollywood. And that's fine with me. I don't mind doing that. That's all right. The old Hollywood was a magic place where dreams were put on celluloid for all the world to see. It was a place where concepts like patriotism and family were proudly extolled. And it was also a place where a man could be playing second banana to a chimpanzee one day and become president of the United States on another day. I'm glad it didn't happen in the reverse order. Mr. President, I salute you. And now, to present the excitement of youth, the sights and the sounds of a big city, here are New York City Breakers.
love legs. Next month, you're going to make some succulent chicken cacciatore with red sauce smothered in onions. So now, my little chickadees, I'm going to protect you in thick, tough Ziploc freezer bags. Ziploc bags are a zip to lock, and they stay locked, so your legs won't suffer freezer burn. Arrivederci, my lovelies, till we eat again.
Ziploc. We've got the lock on food protection.
The 50th American Presidential Inaugural Gala will continue in a moment.
In the beginning, American Airlines brought you low Super Saver fares. Now, American goes beyond low fares, beyond Super Saver fares. American Airlines presents Ultimate Super Savers, the biggest fare reduction in Americans' history. Good to these and all of our destinations in the continental U.S. Ultimate Super Savers. Who ever thought we'd go this far?
Some bankers seem to have a language all their own.
Escrow asset annuity, stock bond liquid basis point, IRA, FSA, LMNOP,
This plan lets you earn high interest rates.
The Big E is different. We speak English, and we know the best ways to put your hard-earned money to work.
Any questions?
Need financial advice?
Talk to the experts at the Big E.
How'd you like a juicy, sizzling, flame-broiled Whopper for only 99 cents? That's right, 99 cents for this marvelous, magnificent, all-time classic, the Whopper. Cents after 4 p.m.
Confrontation at Metro Detroit Abortion Clinic. The story at 11.
Catch Kelly and Company all this week.
Monday, WMJC's Jeff and Jer's sneaking Lions quarterback Gary Danielson.
Tuesday, Jeff and Jer will find out what it's like to be adopted.
Wednesday, actor James Coco tells why things have been pretty thin for him.
And then on Thursday, money news you can bank on.
And on Friday, we'll talk with Dick Clark, live from Los Angeles. Join us at 9 a.m.
Financial Base Securities.
I've been an opera fan most of my life. For me, the glorious music, the drama, the thrilling voices seem to express life at its fullest. We're very fortunate here in America to have produced some of the world's greatest opera singers. One of my favorites is a woman who is living proof that great things need not come in large packages. A frequent visitor at the White House and all the great opera houses of the world, here is Frederica von Stade to sing Noblesse Seigneur from The Huguenots by Meyerbeer.
Salut
Good evening. I'm Patricia Neal. It is an honor for me to be here this evening. I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to represent, but I hope it's love and decency and optimism. I believe in those qualities, and I know they are an inherent part of the lives of the first family, and indeed the fabric of our country. We all hope that your second term in office, Mr. President, will see the fulfillment of our common dream of firm and lasting peace. It is now my pleasure to turn the entertainment over to a man who has brightened all our lives with his talent for many years. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lou Rawls.
Thank you very much. It's indeed a pleasure and an honor and a privilege for me to be here this evening and share this great occasion. I'd like to dedicate this song to Mrs. Reagan and to the President himself, but actually I could say to her from him, because sometimes we don't know the right words to say to the ladies. Perhaps this song will say it all. It must be cold standing in my shadow, never having the sunlight on your face. Oh, but you're content to let me shine while you walk a few steps behind sometime. Now, I'm the one that gets all the glory while you're the one behind me with all that strength. Just a face without a name. But you know, I have never once heard you complain. Did you ever know that you are my hero? Everything that I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle because you are the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it right here in my heart. I want you to know that I know the truth. Yes, I do. That I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you are my hero? You're everything that I would like to be. And I can fly higher, higher than an eagle, because you are the wind beneath my
Our cookies come out great because of what we put in them. Our absolute #1 favorite raisins, Sun-Made. They love them out of the box, in cakes, salads, even on peanut butter sandwiches. Fresh, sweet Sun-Made. I wouldn't dream of using anything less, because putting any old raisins into these beauties would mean putting them into these beauties.
Fresh out of the box or fresh out of the oven. Sun-Made, we're America's favorite raisin.
The Grand Coulee Dam, built to harness the power of the Columbia River and provide electricity for millions. That took bold imagination, and it made this country grow. Today, I see that same kind of imagination in hundreds of small to mid-sized companies whose new ideas, new jobs, and new technologies will continue to build America. At First Jersey Securities, we specialize in discovering such emerging growth companies for today's investors with vision. First Jersey Securities, come grow with us.
You get up in the morning, your eyes irritated, mere slits. Now let your eyes wake up to Visine. Visine in the morning relieves, refreshes, soothes those irritated morning eyes. Visine with tetrahydrozoline gets the red out that sleep didn't.
That feels better.
For minor eye irritation, start your day with Visine to help your eyes feel and look great.
Morning.
Wake up to Visine. Visine gets the red out.
Who says you can't have it all? Who says you can't have pinstripes and rock and roll? Who says you can't taste life without it taking its toll? Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can.
Michelob Light. Super premium taste in a less filling beer.
Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Have it all.
I've had some pretty good parts over the years. One of the nice things about that is knowing how the stories come out. You know, when I played that chariot driver, I knew I was going to win the race. And I played 2 presidents, and both times I knew who was going to win the election. And as Tom said a while ago, I think we all knew who was going to win the election this time, too. Mr. President, as you undertake for us again for the next 4 years the awesome burden you've carried for us for the last 4, I hope you'll be sustained by knowing that you have the country behind you. I think you know, while you were out campaigning last summer, there was a musical group on the campaign trail, too. They were offering their talent and their support on your behalf. Every time they performed, one song that never failed to win an ovation was one that sold 1 million copies when they recorded it. All the Gold in California. They sang it for the governor of the Golden State, who went on to hold the highest office in the land. And I think it's fitting they come here tonight to help us all celebrate your inauguration. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin Brothers.
All the gold in California is in a bank in the middle of Beverly Hills. It's somebody else's name. So if you're dreaming about California, it don't matter at all where you play for. California's a brand new day. I'll take it. Trying to be a hero, winding up to 0. Can't scar a man forever, right down to your soul. Living on the spotlight can't kill a man outright, 'cause everything that glitters is not
song, Dr. Graham. This is a hit. This is a big record. Hit me, band. If you're dreaming about California, it don't matter at all where you play before. California's a brand new
Mr. President and Nancy, I can't tell you how excited I am to be here. Hi. This is the first coronation I've ever been to. Oh, inauguration, I'm sorry. I was playing in a tennis tournament. I got to the finals recently. I was playing against Jimmy Connors, and I was really doing good. And secretary rushed onto the court and said Frank Sinatra was on the phone. So I immediately defaulted. And I rushed to the telephone, and of course I knew why he was calling, and I was thrilled. We were all thrilled when Frank was selected to head the entertainment for the galas. We knew, yes, please. It's wonderful to acknowledge a power greater than ourselves. We knew he was selected the second that the white smoke came out of his chimney in Palm Springs. You know, a lot of people are surprised that Frank is a friend of presidents and kings and emperors. But I say, why not? Even they need someone to look up to. Well, anyway, to get on with the story, Frank said, come to Washington on Saturday and introduce Donna Summer. And I said, of course I will. She's one of our great artists. And she'll be singing with the U.S. Naval Academy Glee Club on the inaugural gala. Well, it was that easy. So here is Living in America, sung by the U.S. Naval Academy Glee Club and the great Donna Summer.
Soap opera child with hope in her eyes, looking for a starring role. She came into town and acted the clown, had a long, long way to go. You see, it's okay, sounds okay. Find your own way. Find your own way. Keep on trying all day. Some days are hard, and you know your time will come for each and every one. You're living in America. You're living in the home of a dream. Don't be afraid. You're living in America. Just make it what you want it to be. Straight out of school, but still just
living in America. Just make it what you want it to be. No, don't be afraid. You're living in America. Let's hear it, everyone. You're living in the home of the free. Now sing it tonight. We're all Americans. You're living in America. Rebel mountain majesty. Just make it what you want it to be. Come on, put your hands together for me. You're living in America. You're living in the home of the free. Don't be afraid. You're living in America. Just make it what you want it to be. Come on, you people out there on TV. Sing it for me.
In 1884, a woman immigrated to America. Within her, people have seen all the good that is within themselves. She has given us hope and asked for nothing in return.
I was 8 years old when I first saw her. I remember my father was squeezing my hand. He just kept squeezing my hand. I just kept looking at my father, looking at her, and I saw him crying. I had never seen him cry before. The sun was so bright. I have never seen the sun so bright.
Can you ever picture her not being there? Well, neither can we. We're Kodak, a founding sponsor of the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island Centennial Restoration. Now it's our turn to carry the torch.
You know, learning to read is tough. I learned back when I was 6, well, maybe 7. But these kids are already reading in kindergarten. It's because of this really neat learning program called Writing to Read. It's from IBM. Now, it takes words a kid can say, and they can say a lot, and teaches them how to write and read them.
Say, turtle.
Turtle.
Type, turtle.
The computer helps them. It's fun.
Can a fish ride in a wagon?
Nah. More than 20,000 kids were part of the pilot program, and some can even write their own stories.
Dad cooks macaroni. I like it too. I kissed my cat before I went to school.
Gee, I wish they had this when I was a kid.
As a group, children in Writing to Read did significantly better on national reading tests. The 2-year pilot program of Writing to Read was supported and funded by IBM.
The 50th American Presidential Inaugural Gala will continue in a moment.
Monday, Mark goes undercover as a stand-up comic.
You get it?
To trap a mobster with no sense of humor.
Coming at your heart.
And a deadly delivery. Hardcastle and McCormick. Then, Burt Lancaster.
I run a tabloid, and I compete with other tabloids.
Lauren Hutton.
Do you know what that rag is? Do you know what they do to people? Do you know what they'll make you do?
Robert Urich.
I want her out of my house!
Scandal Sheet. All starting Monday at 8, 7 Central.
This is a Channel 7 Action News Brief brought to you by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Here's Mike Hofeld. Good evening, everyone. It's dangerously cold in Metro Detroit and throughout southeastern Michigan tonight, and barring an emergency, you'd be better off to stay in the comfort of your home tonight. Blowing and drifting snow, coupled with wind-chill temperatures, have prompted state police to issue storm warnings and travelers' advisories through tomorrow. Now this.
The chicken and biscuit special from KFC. 9 pieces of chicken.
The Colonel's recipe.
4 buttermilk biscuits.
Fresh from scratch.
Only $6.49 for the perfect match. Only $6.49.
So look for the sign at Kentucky Fried Chicken for a limited time.
So bring some home for the family tonight.
Cause when it comes to doing chicken, we do chicken right.
Also at Kentucky Fried Chicken, try our new Kentucky Nuggets.
We'll have sports, weather, and more at 11. We'll see you then.
We've slashed prices up to 70% off on hundreds of fashion furs during our sensational 4-day-only winter clearance sale at JCPenney Northland only.
WMJC's Jeff and Jer, Monday, 9 a.m. live.
Hello, I'm representing all the giants of the entertainment world. I can't remember when I've been in better company. I'm glad you won the election, Mr. President. I didn't vote for you, but if you lowered the voting requirements to 3'6", I would have. I know this is a Republican celebration, but I have the honor of introducing a man who is so democratic, he picks on everybody equally, even a little kid like me. Mr. Don Rickles. Be funny.
First black kid I ever saw that'll definitely never play basketball.
I asked you, huh? 40 million stars. I get a little kid out here, doesn't know what time it is, and brings me out, and you're standing here with the band with the same cockamamie music. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Try to learn it. The president's here. This is a big shot for me. Last night we had Bush. Well, but I'll tell you this. He was great. Did you see him and the wife after the show? He was in the lobby going, nobody knows me. I gave him a cookie. He went away. He didn't know what time it was. I'll be with you in a minute. I'll tell you this. Did you see some of his movies? Stiffs. I'll tell you this. How this guy became president. When he was governor, I couldn't get in touch with him. I had a cousin, did 3 months in the county jail. I made a phone call. I said, give me a break. He was too busy, tied up, wouldn't make that. He's now doing 14 years, and he's the president of the United States, sitting in the White House with Nancy, walking around going, Art Rickles' cousin is doing a lot of time. Good evening, Mr. President. Nice to see you, sir. And your lovely wife, Nancy. It's a big treat for me to fly all the way from California to be here for this kind of money. See, I still got the tuxedo marked down. Anyway, you need 38 tags to get in here. 38 tags. The Secret Service is walking around the lobby. Did you see the president? Anybody see the president? Where's the president? The president's with Nancy in the hall going, let's try it one more time. Remember when you were governor and you used to walk over to my table? Now you're big and you're getting on my nerves. I'll tell you this. Is he laughing? If you see Marines coming towards me, go into glory, glory, hallelujah, and shoot Webster. Anyway, nice to see you, Secretary Schultz. What are you doing in town? Anyway, he's sitting there like there's nothing going on. Get busy. Go over to the embassy, have a bucket of beluga. Anyway, Secretary of State's here, and Billy Graham, nice to see you, sir. This hand is bothering me. Anyway, it could have been a picture if I've talked to this guy. It's great, though. I make fun of the president. Why not? I make fun of everybody in the world. That's America. Laughing, Charlton Heston. I'm a friend. It's over. I'll tell you this. If you were Moses, I was a Mau Mau fighter pilot. Elizabeth Taylor was backstage in a Cleopatra outfit killing snakes. I'll tell you this. And Tom Selleck was under the shower going, look at this, the water runs up. I'll tell you this. Is this too fast, Ronnie? Anyway, he's sitting there looking at the program going, where does he say he makes fun of me? Where does it say that? It's only a joke, Mrs. Reagan. They got real guns. I spoke to the hospital, Nelson. You died about an hour ago. I say this, though. Is this too fast, Secretary Schultz? What do you talk to that Russian about? You must sit... Look at the way you're dressed. The tuxedo's out of style. Class it up a little bit. He's wearing a fake dickie when the button goes boom. Mr. President, get some guy that's a little hip. Get some guy walking in. Let's talk, man. Let's talk. He's 90. Let's have a meeting. That's what they do in Florida, the old Jewish folks. Hold the elevator doors. I must say, this is a joyous occasion, really. I personally voted for Wilkie. But I'll tell you this. To you, Mrs. Reagan, lovely Mrs. Reagan, to you, our dear President, may God be good to you and yours for the coming 4 years and beyond that. You're a great gentleman and a great credit to the country. May he give you health, the Almighty, and may you reign as long as you wish. God bless.
Travel the world to meet all the famous people face to face. Now and then, problems can come up along the way. Problems with travel plans, reservations, money, even language. And when you're far from home and faced with a problem, this could be the most welcome face you'll see. American Express, don't leave home without us.
I'll just be a minute, Kathy.
What's the doctor gonna do to you, Grandpa?
He just wants to check my blood pressure again. Hello, Doc.
High blood pressure often has no symptoms. Untreated, it can lead to a stroke or heart disease. That's why it's so important to see your doctor and have your blood pressure checked. This message is brought to you by Pfizer Pharmaceuticals.
Are you all right, Grandpa?
I'm just fine, Kathy.
Pfizer, one of your partners in healthcare.
Have you driven a Ford? When was the last time you had the kind of car that brings the road alive? Have you driven a Ford? Then you don't know what you're missing. Have you driven a Ford? Driven a Ford? Have you driven a Ford lately?
You probably can't guess where you can find all this under one roof. Probably not at the stereo store at the mall. Probably not at the TV shop. Or the computer center across town. You'll find all this at Sears. That's right, Sears.
There's more for your life at Sears.
Mr. President, Nancy, good evening. One of the best things about this wonderful gala, it is that it's being seen in countries all over the world, including some Eastern Bloc nations that have never had the opportunity of viewing our country from this perspective. We send them our best wishes and use this method of communication to convey our sincere desire for a peaceful and better world for all people. I would like also to use a moment of my time to acknowledge and thank a man of passion and dedication, a friend for all seasons, the chairman of the board, Mr. Frank Sinatra.
Fly me to the moon, let me play up there with those stars. Let me see what life is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song. Let Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and to adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I am in love with you. Why don't you fill my heart with song? Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and do adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You. Thank you very much. Thank you. I have been a saloon singer for a good many years now, and I never dreamed that anyone would want to use any of my songs for any cultural pursuit. And one day I got a call from a very high-class lady named Twyla Tharp, and she wanted to know could she use one of our songs that she could build a dance around for a boy dancer. And I thought, respectability at last. This boy dancer is here tonight, and he promised to lend me a hand, or rather a foot, for the occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, the brilliant Mikhail Baryshnikov. It's 2:45. There's no one in the place except you and me. And set 'em up, Joe. I got a little story I think you ought to know. We're drinking, my friend, to the end of a brief episode. Make it one for my baby, and one more for the road. I got the routine, put another nickel in the machine. Feeling so bad, won't you make the music easy and sad? I could tell you a lot, but you've got to be true to your code. Just make it one for my baby, and one more for the road. You'd never know it, but buddy, I'm a kind of poet, and I got a lot of things I want to say. And if I'm gloomy, please listen to me till it's all talked away. Well, that's how it goes. And Joe, I know you're getting anxious to close. So thanks for the cheer. I hope you didn't mind my bend in your ear. But this torch that I found, it's got to be drowned, or it soon might explode. So make it one for my baby, and one more for the road. The long, it's very long. That long, it's very long. It's long.
Can you help me with these Canon personal copiers?
Oh, yeah, they're terrific. And you know, they copy in 6 colors.
I know.
Well, the entire copying process is in this cartridge. Look, so you can maintain it yourself.
I know.
This one even reduces and enlarges and makes copies up to legal size. I ought to know. I'm Jack.
Oh, I know.
Well, if you know all about Canon PC copies, what do you need me for?
Over here.
Should have known. For information, call toll-free.
Some investors have learned it's hard to make money these days just following the herd. They've seen that old-fashioned techniques don't always seem to work anymore. And that listening to yesterday's ideas isn't enough in today's financial markets. More and more, the ambitious investor is following a firm with rock-solid resources that's leading the way to the future. Prudential Beige Securities. Follow a leader.
Sun-made raisins have been my favorite ever since I was a kid. So when I want to be creative with raisins, I use Sun-made. I wouldn't dream of giving my family anything less. Would you? They add a fresh, sweet flavor to all kinds of food. And the kids love them right out of the box. Hi, honey, what's cooking? America's favorite raisin. And right now, Sun-made raisins are at their lowest price in 6 years.
The phones you lease from AT&T have to earn the name Old Reliable. We test them to make sure they're tough enough to survive almost anything you can dish out. And that's why, if there ever is trouble, AT&T will replace your leased phones free at our phone center, or just call toll-free. AT&T will worry about the hang-ups, so you won't have to. AT&T Consumer Sales and Service.
For the price of a pizza and a soft drink, you can feed an African child for 1 month. Give to the Red Cross African Famine Relief.
Participating advertisers have been AT&T, Sun Diamond Growers of California, IBM, Eastman Kodak Company, and Pfizer.
You know, in my day, they used to end the prom by everybody singing Goodnight Ladies. And on New Year's Eve, obviously, everybody sang Auld Lang Syne. And I can't think of a more appropriate way to end this wonderful evening of ours than with the singing of America the Beautiful, and I can't think of anyone who does a more stirring and spiritual kind of rendition than my good friend, my buddy, Mr. Ray Charles. liberating strife. Who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. I'm talking about this America, America. May God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. And you know, when I was a little boy, I always remember we sung these words. Oh, beautiful, far spacious sky, far amber waves of rain, far purple mountain in majesty, far above the fruited plain. What I'm singing about tonight is this America, sweet America. I tell you, God shed his grace on me, and I want you to know that he crowned our good. Yeah, he did. Saving brotherhood from sea to shining sea. You know, I wish I had somebody to help me sing this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States and Mrs. Reagan.
Well, here I go again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether there are any words to properly express our gratitude, and I'm sure yours too, for these wonderful people up here. You know, this just doesn't happen with people just happening to drop by. So I'm particularly grateful, of course, to Frank, who directed and who produced this wonderful program that we've seen. These fine young men and women from our Naval Academy who have come here also. But all the time this was going on, I was sitting over thinking, how many times we have seen this. Certainly I have seen it over the years past. People up here on a platform giving away the only thing they have to sell. And I can remember sometimes being up here in the same kind of occasions where the remuneration was the same. Back in Hollywood in those days, of course, whenever they would call you and ask you to appear at a benefit, that's where the performers perform free. I would always try to say, as so many others like me, if you don't sing or dance, you know, I'd say, well, what can I do? And they'd say you can introduce someone else. I remember once when there were 7 of us lined up to introduce Nelson Eddy singing Shortening Bread. But these wonderful people, and they don't just, as I say, drop in. You know, this takes some doing and putting together and rehearsing and also finding out that 2 or 3 of you aren't going to do the same number and working out a real program. And they're doing it all because it's something they just believe is worthwhile and that it's their obligation that they should do this. And how many times it's for a very worthwhile charitable cause. And always their answer is yes when they're asked. And I sat up there thinking back how many times and how many memories I have of people at particularly special events. I remember one going back to World War II. President Roosevelt thought in that first year of the war that I Am an American Day should be celebrated with ceremony all over the country. And so people like these, and maybe some of these, were there. One place, the biggest celebration, I guess, throughout the country was at Soldiers Field in Chicago, the great stadium there with 120,000 people. It was 5 below in Chicago today. I hope those Chicagoans who clapped are glad they're here. But anyway, on that occasion, I'll never forget the tiny figure of Helen Hayes, introduced and down on the floor of that stadium. And 120,000 people with a silence you most could hear, as she did not sing, but she recited the words of something that all of us from the earliest days in school have learned to sing. My country, 'tis of thee. And I think everyone believed that day, and 120,000 people thought they were really hearing the words for the first time when that little figure, as I say, raised her voice and said, my country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. Just something about all these people around us here tonight that there's no way to describe it. Like so many Americans, whenever they're asked, they're here. And God bless you all for a very wonderful evening for all of us. Thank you all.
He has a gift for you. That's little Mary.
Transportation provided by American Airlines. Something special in the air all over the continental United States, plus Hawaii, Canada, the Caribbean, Mexico, and London. The drum line of the U.S. Academy Drum and Bugle Corps, and the Norman Scribner Singers. The Presidential Inaugural Committee 1985 gratefully acknowledges and wishes to thank the generous contributions of the time and talents donated by the stars of all the inaugural celebrations. This is Charles Hughes speaking.
The matchup.